Hello and welcome back to UAS3 training. In this chapter we will discuss some specific way of making settings for SDT270. So if you have seen how to prepare the settings as SDT340, there are some small differences when you are working with SDT270. So this chapter you will find very interesting if you are a user of SDT270. So as you can see here, I have prepared a small tree structure, a small database for the purpose of this training. I have pump 1, and then I have a motor and a pump. Inside the motor I have a non-drive end bearing and drive end bearing. I prepare only one measurement for acceleration and one for ultrasound, another one just for test to show you something. We'll come to that shortly. And then I have pump 2, the same settings. What you can immediately notice here is that for each measurement, I have two settings. One is dynamic, another one is static. That is the main difference between 270 and 340, besides other abilities of measuring vibration in different frequency ranges, and same as for sampling rate in ultrasound. But in the very settings, there is a major difference that you need to define two fields. One of them is the dynamic, that will automatically generate static in case you don't create it. So you can see here, if I select it, that I selected my sensor, I selected my filter frequency, I selected here dynamic, so I have both dynamic and static. I selected interval and acquisition time. Now let's see in static field. My settings are the same with the difference that this is static measurement. As you can see, acquisition time is the same, and that will help us a lot, because once you come into the field, you don't need to make separately dynamic and static measurement. If acquisition time is equal, in that case you just do the dynamic measurement and static measurement will be automatically generated. So it's a big time saver, and of course it's in your best interest to have the same acquisition time, to have a proper representation of what happened in the asset, and then you can easily compare static data and dynamic data, because acquisition time is the same. Of course, same works for ultrasound. We made the same settings. Let's just take a look. So dynamic, RS2T, 1 month, acquisition time, interval 1 month, and acquisition time 5 seconds. And I created the static field with same setting, with a different settings, with a difference of this one being static measurement. Here I also created one point, which is internal ultrasound sensor, and only dynamic point. So this is just for the purpose to show you how static point will be automatically generated. So now let's send this to survey. So it's going to be new work order survey. Let's call it pump 1. And what we'll do now, the same like we do with all our instruments, we will send this to SDT270. So now all data, the tree structure, alarms, all the settings, all the surveys are transferred to the instrument, where we can continue our work. Okay, so let's change the scenery a little bit. Here we are. So you can see here in this screen that I will be using SDT270, our test demo bench, and also our Rhapsody box to generate a signal. You will also have an opportunity to see the Rhapsody box software, where I can generate any kind of signal I want for the purpose of training. And here you also have SDT270 virtual, so you can maybe much clearer see what is going on the screen. So the next thing we will do is we will go to plant survey. And we have our pump 1 plant survey as we prepared, and now we have motor, non-drive end bearing, acceleration. Now I will have to make some noise. and we will take the measurement. As you can see on the screen, I'm taking dynamic measurement. Okay, so now I enter the measurement and I take it. So now I'm collecting data. Data is saved. And the next point in my survey is, again, same measurement, acceleration from 10 Hertz to 1 kilohertz, static. But as you can see on the screen, is checked. So that means the data is collected. I don't need to collect it again. So I will simply move to next one. We'll tell this guy to be quiet. Okay. And now I will generate a signal. Probably you can hear it somewhere. So this is our bearing. Okay, I'm taking dynamic measurement. And it's being collected now. I will save it. And again, as you can see, my static data is collected, so I don't need to collect it separately. Next one is internal sensor, where we never set the static data, only dynamic. But let's take a measurement. Okay, and saved. Okay, so let's now transfer our data back to UAS3. So I'll click on device, download from 270 LUBExpert to PC. Okay, and let's download the data. Okay, so you remember that we had dynamic and static in vibration. We had dynamic and static with RS2T sensor. We never set static in internal ultrasound sensor. It was generated automatically. So you can see it here. Let's just take a look at the data for the moment. We'll remove this so we have more space to see. Okay, so this is our acceleration, time waveform, dynamic spectrum. This is our static data, so here we will have our trend shown. Dynamic, same thing. All these indicators that you can see here will be as well displayed here when you are looking at a time waveform. The same thing will happen if you open the spectrum. Your static data will be here along all the other data that you learned before from previous chapters. So basically you can see here there are not so much big differences between working with 270-340 apart from the huge abilities that 340 possess. But in the settings, you will just need to pay attention that you will have two fields and not to be confused with two fields. I hope this chapter helped you to use your 270 better and with more benefit, and see you in next chapter. Goodbye.